girls, welcome to the She Speaks podcast by Primal Women's. We are here to talk all things women's health. There is no topic that will go undiscussed, and I'm joined by the lovely Janaki. I'm Sonali. We are so excited to be here, right?
Yes, of course. So excited.
So we're going to dive into a little bit about us first, and then we're going to dive into some topics that we have chosen especially for today. So without further ado, Janaki, tell me what you're all about, girl.
So I'm a physiotherapist from Australia, if you can't hear by my accent. I did all my schooling in Australia and I just moved to London in October this year. Really struggling with the cold, not going to lie to you.
I don't know who would move from Australia to the UK, but you know what, each their own.
Look, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure it out, but you know.
Well, you're in the right place. You're in the right place.
Yes, yeah. So I did all my schooling in Australia, did my doctor of physiotherapy, and I did my clinical internship at a maternity hospital in Australia.
Yes.
And basically covered all things women's health, like postnatal care. I used to see the mums day 0 to day 3, discharge them from hospital. I used to do the follow-up 6 weeks postpart, and do baby handling classes with the dads. No, literally everything in between. Even did private practice and, you know, watched all the physios treat mastitis and pretty much everything. Any concerns any of the moms had or the dads had, I was helping them. And I loved working with the babies, especially the 6 weeks of postpartum. We were like, gee, smell. Oh, yeah. So, I'd be like, yeah, mom, just like take a seat, like start doing your exercises. I'll come, like, monitor your dram and look at your pelvic floor, but give me the baby.
Yeah.
That
dose of the baby where you can just kind of give it back after the end of the day.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you can have it now. You're crying. It needs to be fed, but I did all the the holding while they were okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I did, and then. Now I'm in London.
What kind of drew you to go into women's health? Like, why did you want to specialise? Go down this route?
Well, there's a couple things. I didn't know I wanted to do women's health until I did my clinical internship. I didn't really see like how much value physiotherapy could have in women's health. I didn't understand it. We did a week course in uni, and I was like, okay, so it's just education, like cool, fun. Great. Moving on. Like, I want to do private practice. I want to work in musculoskeletal. I want to work with neurological geriatrics. But then I did my clinical internship, 6 weeks of just babies, and mums and all their issues and everything like that. And I was like, wait, there's so much impact that physiotherapy can have in a woman's life, and how much information that you can give them and how grateful they are. And they didn't know any of this stuff before I started talking to them.
Yeah.
And it's so empowering.
Yeah.
That's one.
As a woman as well, it's definitely empowering.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just still not spoken about, which is
not enough.
Why we're here.
Yeah. But yeah, that, and then also I was diagnosed with PCOS at age. And I did not like how I was diagnosed. I did not like how the GP just went, oh yeah, based on these things, you have PCOS. Best thing to do for PCOS is go on the pill.
And that's it. See you later. No advice. Nothing.
Bye. 18-year-old, no information whatsoever. Go on the pill. And I went on the pill because how am I supposed to?
Of course, you're going to listen to the doctor at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, which they Google searched my symptoms and went, oh, yep, PCOS. There you go, the pill.
Honestly. And that's the way it goes. And I'm so... well, not glad to hear it, because if that's how it happens in Australia, that's exactly how it happens here. Yeah, like it's a global issue where people are getting diagnosed and then they're just sent on their way. Like, yeah, take a pill, go to your pharmacy.
Literally.
Bleed forever.
Yeah, any women's health issue, the pill is apparently the solution to everything.
Like the magic
pill.
And
the way that it literally messes up your entire body, all your hormones are imbalanced, everything gone wrong. You don't know why. It's the pill. It's not solving any problems.
And you know what? It's not only just the pill. It's every single type of contraception out there. I'm sorry. Yeah. Nah. We've all heard the horror stories. Some of us have experienced the horror stories, and it's like they put it in your mouth to shut you up.
Yeah, literally 2 years of the pill, and then I was like, fuck this, I need to get off the pill. Like, it's horrible. Honestly. It took me 1 whole year to wean off the pill to start getting regular periods again. And then I started researching all the things behind PCOS to be able to solve my own like diagnosis, how to do it naturally with diet, with proper exercise, all the symptoms to PCOS, like struggling to lose weight and dealing with hormonal imbalances. the pill made it worse. It did not help me at all.
It didn't even last the symptoms.
No.
It just made it worse.
It made it worse. And when I came off and I was like, whoa, I can actually think, and like I'm not always unhappy for no reason.
My brain is my brain.
Yeah.
No, trust me. I've had a similar experience on contraception. Honestly, it changes you as a person. It changes your relationships with the people around you.
Yeah.
And it fucks you up.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Fuck the pill. I hate it so much. No woman should ever go on that shit.
No, I completely agree. Any type of contraception, guys, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Literally. Wrap it up. Sorry, but we women go through so much hardship in our life. How hard is it to put a wrapper on it? Honestly, like, please.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
Yeah. God.
But honestly, it's so refreshing to hear someone talk about PCOS. Again, it's a word that's flung around a lot, especially in the South Asian community. We are kind of at that more at-risk category, let's say. Again, the word is flung about. Still, people don't really know what it is and how it's kind of an umbrella term as well for different conditions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
And this is exactly one of the things that we are here to basically speak to you about, educate you about, but also help you with. But no more sticking pills in your mouth. Seriously. No more sticking pills in your mouth. We are going to help you with this. But no, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you have kind of taken time out of your own life to basically go through this journey and do your own research.
Yeah. And I feel like it helps me as a physio now as well. Like, I know when women come in and they have all these underlying conditions, it helps me in my treatment with them. Like, it's so beneficial to know the background, like how to improve your diet. When I talk to women, it's not just in physiotherapy. It's not just me assessing, oh, they have this pain, they have pelvic pain, they struggle with abdominal pain. No, tell me your whole background. Tell me what other underlying issues you have.
Yeah.
And if it's PCOS, if it's anything women's health related, it's a big deal. You need to tell me.
100%.
And it helps our treatment as well. So
exactly.
I'm so glad that I'm not glad that I have PCOS, but I'm glad that I had to learn from a young age how to self-manage and how to go on with life.
Because now this influence can have a massive influence on other people's journeys.
Exactly, yeah.
And is actually empowering you to help other people,
of course,
with the same thing. So that's really nice. And actually, one thing that I picked up on what you said earlier is that as a physio, people don't actually know that you can deal with these things with physiotherapy, and it's the same with osteopaths.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, sorry, what do you do? Are you not
actually tell me, what do you do? I need to know more because it's not widely spoken about. I have like a general idea, but tell me everything.
Yeah. So with osteopathy, so this is like my second degree. My first degree was like sports rehab, injury, all that kind of stuff. MSK got on lock. Osteopathy, I wanted to take a more kind of medical approach with my patients. I wanted to know more about systemic health. I want to know about everything in your body, not just the musculoskeletal system. So this is what osteopaths are really good at. We're good at recognizing, we're good at referring when we need to. So say you would come in with me, I wouldn't just ask you questions about, say you've got shoulder pain. I wouldn't just ask you about the shoulder. I would ask you about every single thing in your body. I will take a full medical history and understand you as a body. So I'm treating, I love to say this is my mantra, treat the patient, not the symptoms. Like how every little thing in your life, not related to your injury, can impact that injury.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be an injury. Like I said, we can actually help with gynecological conditions, any systemic issues as well. So I feel like it's opened up my scope of practice, not to just be like MSK,
right, yeah.
but actually treating other parts of the body. And again, it's not just through manual therapy, which a lot of people think that's the only thing that osteopaths, oh yeah, let me just crack your neck real quick. Nah, that's not going to solve all your life's problems. We need to talk about holistically about your health, nutrition, sleep, diet, exercise. We need to understand the types of medication that you're on and how they're affecting your body. So I feel like osteopathy generally has opened my eyes, but also I'm seeing patients a lot differently and I'm treating them rather than just masking their pain with a little bit of a massage or a little bit of a manipulation. Yeah. So, and exactly why I wanted to go into women's health. Again, it's just that education aspect. I feel like we are just left in the dark a lot. I'm talking all the clinical studies that you're seeing over the last, let's say, 20 to 30 years, they've been generalized to women, but they ain't been done on women. They've all been done on men.
Yeah, of course.
Like everything in life. So we are basically here to give you that kind of information and educate women on their bodies, because I feel like no one gave it to me. Is it spoken about in school in Australia?
No,
it's spoken about. It's no one here.
We did like 1 week in literally like nothing at all. The sex ed, that was it.
Put a wrapper on it, basically, and that's it.
They were like, oh, yeah, just don't get pregnant at 16, done. bye, and never spoke about it again. And then in physiotherapy, we had 1 week of women's health.
Yeah.
And that's it. Nobody speaks about it. You may go see a gyno, which, by the way, it's not that common for women to go see gynos before the age of 25.
Really?
My age group, they don't see gynos, any issues with their periods or any women's health issues. It's taboo.
It's like Dr. Google, right?
Yeah.
And
they
then
Google it
and then you're dying or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You might go see a pharmacist, take some meds, and then just hope for the best.
Yeah.
I've never personally gone, other than to when I had irregular periods and was diagnosed with PCOS, gone to a GP to ask for advice. But then after learning about how much physiotherapy has an impact on women's health, I would go see a physio and tell them all of my issues and ask for input from them. Not a GP, a physio.
Exactly.
Now an osteo. So.
I'm now an osteo. And the thing is that the GP will literally have 5 minutes with you.
Yeah.
You have 45 to 50 minutes in a room, one-to-one, to basically outpour and explain all your issues. And we will listen to every single little thing, because every single thing matters. Whatever, it's actually the things that you think are most irrelevant become the most relevant in our consultations, which is why I need to know everything. Like, I mean everything.
Yeah, all the nitty-gritty details.
Everything.
Like your whole life story.
Exactly. Nothing is off,
limits. Yes.
Nothing is off limits. I mean, we can get graphic if you want to get graphic. I don't mind. I'm an open book, right? And this is another thing of why we wanted to do this, is because, especially I feel like we're Asian, we're South Asian, right?
Mm.
Not spoken about.
No.
It's very hush-hush. And I want to just break that stigma and be like, if you want to talk about your sex life, talk about your sex life. If this is an issue, let's talk about it. If it's affecting your relationship with your partner, let's talk about it. Because again, even though it's a physical issue that's affecting your relationship with your partner, that can become a mental issue, and that can change dynamics and stuff, and it can make you not feel good about yourself. And again, the way your mental health kind of impacts your physical health, vice versa, it's just a whole new world. It's a lot more complex than it just being like a physical issue, for example. So one of the physical issues actually that we're going to talk about today is incontinence.
Yes.
Again, something not very spoiled about.
Or dysfunction, incontinence.
That's it.
Nothing. Have you heard of cough, laugh, sneeze?
Cough, laugh, sneeze.
Cough, laugh, sneeze. Or how to brace during cough, laugh, sneeze. It is not normal for women to pee themselves or leak a little bit when you cough, laugh, or sneeze. When you exert any intra-abdominal pressure.
Yeah.
There's so many women out there, mainly when you're dealing with postpartum women or during pregnancy.
I think that's when I would expect that to happen, because you hear about that people make jokes about, oh yeah, I just laughed, but I'm pregnant and it's fine.
Yeah,
I think I peed a little bit, but it's okay because I'm pregnant.
Literally, so many women in my life who've had kids, maybe they're 5-6-year-old kids, maybe they've had multiple children. Oh yeah, when I walk up the stairs, or if I accidentally, I pee myself a little bit. I can't go to the gym because I pee myself a little bit. I can't jump on a trampoline with my children because I pee myself a little bit.
Yeah.
All this, it's not normal.
Yeah.
Just because it's common doesn't mean
because you're pregnant.
No.
Yeah. I think that's the misconception is, of course you got a big baby, pressing on the bladder. Yeah. You might pee yourself a little bit, but it's actually not normal.
No. And I hate how these days, it's slowly being debunked and people are coming out with research, and physiotherapy is becoming more and more important and prominent in women's health. But up until 5-10 years ago, it was just if you have a kid, you sacrifice your bladder and bowel control.
Everything downstairs is
yes. Oh, I've had a kid, so that means my entire life is now fucked up. Sex life gone, everything gone. Can't hold my bladder, incontinent, everything. No, that is not right. Come see a physio. Come see an osteopath. We can help you with those things from the get-go. From your first trimester, come see us, all the way until you're 6 to whatever postpartum.
Yeah.
Come see us, because that's not normal. You do not need to.
And I think just because of just the information that has been passed on through generations.
Yeah.
We now believe that it's normal. It happened to our mums. It happened to their mums. Oh yeah, it's normal, but it actually isn't. And we're here to tell you that actually it's not. This is not normal.
Yeah, it's not should I have a kid and lose my control over my bladder, or should I just be no, we can help you.
Yeah. But I think another thing is that, again, it's more widely recognized that you might potentially pee yourself when you're pregnant. But another thing that's not spoken about is that it actually happens in people who haven't had a child.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking for my strong girls, my power lifters, my crossfitters, my gym girlies. It is not normal to be leaking or feeling a little drizzle down there when you're completing a heavy lift, deadlifts, squats, RDLs, whatever you want to call it. It's not normal. And this is actually called stress urinary incontinence. So you're basically increasing that inter-abdominal pressure when you are doing those lifts. And that pressure obviously puts pressure on the bladder, and that's where you end up peeing yourself. Now, again, that's something that I didn't know about as much. But again, with the rise with TikTok.
I saw it last year. All those TikTok videos where girls are doing deadlifts and then they let go, and it's just, and the comments are, this is normal, it happens to every woman, you shouldn't be embarrassed. Yeah, you shouldn't be embarrassed. This is not normal.
Exactly. And the thing is that I did a bit of research into this, right? The the demographic that we see this happening in is kind of in the 50s to the 55 kind of age range. But now we are seeing an increase of women partaking in strength sports. As we should.
Yeah.
Big up my gym girls. But now that we've seen this steady increase, we're also seeing a correlation with stress urinary incontinence increasing. And the thing is, these girlies, these CrossFitters, these weightlifters, they are on such a high, intense training schedule. Fine. You know what? Do what makes you happy. We're not discouraging you from lifting. Like, we're actually encouraging it. And that's on video for a whole nother thing. I could talk for England about that. But they're missing out on basic pelvic floor rehab and training. Yes, these big lifts, you're using your big muscles, you're using your glutes, you're using your quads, you're using your hamstrings. But what about all of that intrinsic musculature in your pelvic floor, like in your core, in your deep core muscles? So again, if this is a situation that applies to you where you do feel a little trickle or a little drizzle when you are lifting heavy, I'm not going to call it normal. You shouldn't be embarrassed about it, but it is not normal, especially if you're kind of in that under 30, under 40 category, and especially if you haven't had a child. So it's really easy. I'm not going to say a quick fix, but as long as you add in some sort of pelvic floor rehab, which we are happy to kind of consult with you and treat with you, I think it's a massive, massive game changer from going from peeing yourself, ruining your lovely Gymshark shorts. I mean,
those are expensive.
They're expensive, right? Fucking hell, I could talk about how expensive gym clothes have gotten in the last, oh my god. Anyway, but again, we're just here to tell you that it's actually not normal.
No. And it is a quick fix as long as you are getting the right sort of rehab and help.
Yeah.
It's so easy. So it applies to what you're talking about, your demographic, as well as postpartum or during pregnancy. When you cough, laugh, sneeze, and now when you lift, you brace. It's called a knack. That's what I learned in school. It's called a knack. You brace yourself, pelvic floor muscle contraction, before you do anything that causes intra-abdominal pressure to increase, right?
Okay, a knack.
Yes, if you think of your pelvic floor, it sits like a hammock, right?
Yeah.
One of the big muscles in your pelvis, your pelvic. And then you learn to contract. So you pull that hammock up like a balloon, like suck it up.
Yeah.
Think of pulling in your belly button right to the end of your back, or as if you're trying to hold in wind, right? You stand elevator, you're trying to hold
in both holds.
Yes, men can learn this too. Like, perform the knack. It's really good for your pelvic.
Now, you know what? I kind of like that.
Do the knack.
Do the knack. Let's do the knack.
Yeah, and do this when you're lifting as well. Brace yourself. It's not about tensing your entire body. It's about tensing.
I think this is the thing. This is the thing where whenever I'm a Pilates instructor, right?
Yeah.
And I have to verbalize a lot of my cues to a class of like 12 to 15 people. Now, some people, it's really hard to explain that in a class scenario. I feel like in a one-to-one scenario, we can really work with your pelvic floor, we can work with your deep core muscles and engage it. But as soon as I say, like, engage your core, everyone just starts, like, tensing up. And I'm just like, no, guys, it's hard.
Yeah.
Which is why you need that correct cue. You need that kind of one-to-one setting to be able to really, really, really engage your core properly. And a lot of people, that's one thing that I found teaching Pilates, is that people think that they're engaging their core,
but they're not.
This could be in Pilates, low aerobic exercise. This could be in lifting. It could be in anything. And engagement means just tensing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So again, this is something that I want to like start debunking and actually teaching people, because when I teach them to do it correctly, they're like, oh my God, that is way harder than I thought. And I thought, exactly.
You know what? That's so true, because working with mums in a clinical setting where they've said, I've had 4 or 5 kids, I know how to do all these things, I don't need your education. Sure, give me a second. Let me feel your pelvic floor while you get these contractions. You're not actually bracing anything. You're not doing shit.
No.
Okay, you're just like tensing your entire body. You should be able to breathe while you're doing pelvic floor muscle contractions.
That's it.
In fact, you can sit down. I'm talking to you right now. I'm doing them right
now.
I'm doing them right now. So like,
me too.
See, like, this is how easy it is. It's just proper education, proper verbal cueing, or even showing you and teaching you. Some people learn different ways, right? People are visual learners, people are active learners. So again, this is what I love about this kind of work and this kind of job, because we get to spend time with people one-on-one to really figure out what their learning pattern is and to do things in an individual way that is best for them.
Yeah.
So 100%, I love it. But talking about pelvic floor and just going back to incontinence, what was I going to say? I was going to say that, okay, this is my childhood trauma coming out in a bit. I know half of the girls in the UK that went to British schools, we ain't going to the toilet during the day. So from young, I'm talking since high school, probably even primary school, the toilets gave me the ick.
I had a phobia of the toilets and
like,
I told it.
Disgusting. No amount of squatting will even help me. Like, I could not go to the toilet. So I'm pretty sure I'm not in the same boat like you.
Yeah.
I used to go the whole school day without peeing once. Now, looking back on it, obviously that's not a great thing.
Unhealthy for you.
It's unhealthy, but also, how many years ago was that? That was probably like, fuck, how old am I?
I'm 25. Oh my God.
Okay, let's say about 10, 15 years ago when I was in like primary school, high school, I used to hold myself in the whole day to the point where I could do it. I could go without going to the toilet for hours. Then flip the switch to me like now, especially now, to be honest, gone through uni, you know, taking some journey juice, vodka, a bit of wine on the train. Immediately, I need to pee. And once that idea is in my head,
you ate Leo, didn't you? Yeah.
Look, as soon as I break the seal, it's over.
Listen, this is when, have you heard of the fourth urge?
No.
Okay.
The fourth urge.
The fourth urge.
The fourth urge.
Okay,
hit me.
This is something I practice and I preach to everyone, not just women, everyone I meet, because it's so important. I yell at my husband about this as well, because I'm like, you cannot go to the toilet every 5 minutes. Even my mum, she does this at home, and I tell her, like, the fourth urge, only go on the fourth urge. I'll explain it in a second. My mum, she does the same thing. Like, she will pee just before she leaves the house and just after she comes home because she's so scared of peeing outside of the house. And while it's good to practice, like, being able to hold your bladder, you also need to create good habits for your bladder. Back onto the fourth urge, though.
Okay.
Only go to the toilet. This is for number 1, not number 2. Go when you need to for a number 2. But to pee, go on your fourth urge. Do not go on your first urge. And you get urges.
Because you're basically telling your brain that, okay, every time that urge comes, I need to find a toilet or I'm going to piss myself.
Literally, you need to build good habits, because when times are tough, you don't want to be...
And there's no toilet.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, treat your bladder like you're training a habit. You're training good habits. You wait till your fourth urge, till you really need to go. Not till you're busting, but till you need to go to the toilet. Because if you're going on your first or second urge, you're going out of convenience because you don't want to be using a toilet outside or anything like that. You're not building good habits. And then when times are tough, for example, if you're sorry, I know, just... If you were so used to driving home and going to the toilet exactly on time, 3 p.m. every day, when times are tough and you're stuck in traffic for an extra 5 minutes, who's going to be sitting in the car? Busting. You can't hold it. You can't hold it because you're so used to going at 3 p.m. every single day.
Yeah, it's like routine right off.
Yeah.
And then the toilet.
Your bladder doesn't know any different. It's like, I go at 3, I have to go right now. You cannot even hold it, even though your bladder may not be full. It's just a habit. So if you train it, go on the fourth urge, okay, first, second, third, okay, now I'm cutting to go. Like, I think my bladder's full enough for me to go.
Yeah.
You are, 1, training for good pelvic floor.
Yeah.
And 2, you're training good habits. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, you just said you have a story. Tell me more about that.
Guys, I can't believe I'm crucifying myself like this. But this is for educational purposes, right? Time travel back 12, 13 years ago, right? Sonali's in high school. She ain't gone to the toilet all day. That was my regular routine. But on this particular day, I might have just drank a little bit more water than I usually would. Anyway, on my way home, backpack on, getting closer, and then that urge is coming. Now, this must be the fucking 10th urge of the day at this point, but I'm still ignoring it because I know I'm on my way home. I'm nearly there, whatever. You know that thing in your brain where you know that the toilet is... the toilet is close by, right? I'm standing at the door and this is it. Like, I'm squeezing my legs together, thinking this is it. I'm getting my keys out. I'm trying to put the key into the door. And it's at this moment where the key's not even fucking going into the door. Like, my legs are squeezing together. I can't even explain. It just started coming out.
You wet yourself.
I pissed myself on my doorstep. I mean, backpack still on. No, and then when it starts, because I was so desperate. When it starts, it doesn't stop. Managed to get the door open. I literally, I sat on the pee.
Well, you did, didn't you?
I was in my piss, and I'm sat on the toilet, seeing my fucking backpack's still on, my pee kit, my DT bag, like
Oh no!
like everything's still there. And from that moment onwards, I was humbled. I was like, I'm never ever resisting that urge ever again. I was so embarrassed.
Gosh,
I was so embarrassed. And every time, shout out to my friends because they love this story, they would literally piss themselves laughing every time I tell them this story. And now I've just told the world. But do you know what? Nothing to be embarrassed about. I told you that there's no topic that will go off limits here.
no. See, now I hope everyone's learnt their lesson. Go on your fourth urge and
Don't piss on your doorstep.
no. Go on your fourth urge, people. And don't go on your first urge either. Like, learn to hold it, build up your bladder tolerance as well.
Yeah. And again, it's not just like a quick fix. You need to do it consistently. So maybe avoid going on the first urge, go on the second urge, and then we can start to slowly build that up until the fourth urge. But I like that, the fourth urge.
The fourth urge. I like that a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, don't worry, guys. I've learnt my lesson. I am now crying because I'm never going to pee myself on the doorstep ever again. That was just way too humbling. Do you know what? It was the fact that all the bags were on me when I was on the toilet seat. I don't know how you manage it by on the toilet. That's what works in Australia. But like, you know, the ultimate thing is when you've got PE, your normal lessons, and then do you guys know what DT is? Like design and tech, like food tech or woodwork.
Oh, I used to do ITD, Industrial Technology and Design.
Fucking hell, that's a fancy word. Anyway, all of that on the same day, you're carrying like
too much equipment. Just too
I
much.
remember this, yeah. Oh. But learnt my lesson, which is great. And continuing to learn my lesson, I'm still at university. I've got about 5 months left until I'm a fully qualified osteopath.
Exciting.
And don't worry, I do go to the toilet at uni, guys.
Good.
And I'm actually centering my dissertation around a topic that is actually very, very close to my heart.
Okay.
So we are talking all things vagina. We are talking all things labor and delivery. Now, I don't know about you, but ever since I was a girl, I've always wanted to be a mum. Like, I just feel like I'm very maternal. I know I don't sound like it, but trust me, it's in me. I've always wanted to be a mum. But the one thing that I will never get over is just how scary giving birth is. Like, hearing the horror stories. But then also on the other end of it, I hear all these women like, oh my God, it's such an amazing experience and da-da-da-da. So I'm excited for it. But I think the one thing that was like holding me back was the thought of everything just ripping apart.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to center my dissertation around this. So my dissertation is about basically prenatal perineal preparation techniques to reduce tearing during labor and delivery. So if you don't know, the perineum is basically the skin between the vagina and the anus, right? And during labor and delivery, around 80%, 85% of women will tear. Now, these tears can happen spontaneously, and that baby just rips through and just ruins all your goods. Or it can happen through episiotomy, where they make an incision based on kind of how big the diameter of the baby's head is and if they think it's going to go through.
That's apparently equivalent to a second-degree tear.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fine, cool.
Episiotomy, second-degree.
Yeah.
You treat it like a second-degree tear.
Okay, cool. So yeah, talking about degrees, they're classified from first degree to that's just affecting the skin, to fourth degree, which I'm talking those two holes become into one.
Everything inside and out.
Gone. Ripped apart. Again, for the sake of your beautiful baby, but still, like, you know.
These things can be avoided. These things can be managed.
Exactly. Which brings me on to the topic of my dissertation of discussing perineal massage and pelvic floor exercise. So at the moment, I'm doing tons of research into looking which intervention is superior. At the moment, we're pointing more towards perineal massage. So perineal massage is essentially using some form of like lubricant. It could be like almond oil, coconut oil, whatever your preference of oil is. And we're basically massaging the lower lateral areas of the perineum, and they're kind of like this U shape. And we're basically trying to improve the tissue elasticity. So when that baby's head does pop out, got a nice big stretch without the tear.
Exactly. We were taught it's nice you do it in a bath. Ooh. Alone, not with your husband, not with the father of the baby. This is you, yourself, personal time.
Me, myself, and I.
Myself, and I. No one else is involved.
Yeah.
I don't really, and it's for a reason as well. Like, it's quite intrusive. You don't need someone else there.
Right. Well, let me flip the switch. A lot of the time, they encourage this to happen from around 32 to 34 weeks of your pregnancy. I mean, the bump's pretty big down there. I don't even think I'd be able to see my toes, right? So this is where now more research is coming into whether people like us can perform it. But again, it's a very invasive technique where, you know, some people might not be comfortable. But what we can also do is actually teach their partners. Okay. So we can teach partners, we can teach, I mean, I don't know how close you are with your friends, but if your friend's happy to go down there, your friends can go down there, your mother-in-law, do you know what I mean?
Whoa. With a line, would I get my mother or my mother-in-law to be helping with perineal massage? You never know. Crazy.
Yeah, you're right. Yo, never the mother-in-law. Anyway, and we can teach them how to do it and do it themselves, basically. And so far, so good. The research is looking really, really good out there. And again, it's an option that a lot of women don't know about. Even though it's kind of spoken about here and there. I mean, midwives aren't really talking about it. GPs, sorry guys, you're useless. You don't talk about it. Gynecologists, again, this is my theory on things. This is a very natural, conservative, kind of non-invasive, non-pharmacological intervention. When you talk things like this with doctors, gynecologists, or midwives, they just want to pump more money into their own industry, right? Yeah. I mean, there's a new thing, birth dilators, where you put it in like a balloon and start to pump it up. I mean, all of that thing, sorry guys, I don't believe in it. I think consistency with perineal massage and a little bit of pelvic floor exercise and rehab is all you need. And again, this is why I was writing my dissertation on it, because people aren't talking about it.
It's taboo.
It's too. No one wants to think about.
No one wants to think about, like, at 32 weeks pregnant, like, you're sitting there, like, massage your perineum, in the bath, because it doesn't sound medical enough, I would say.
Okay, I like that. You're right. It's almost like you're self-pleasuring.
Yeah, but it's not pleasurable, let me tell you. It actually, you have to do it. I was taught you have to do it till it's slightly uncomfortable. Like, if you're not comfortable sticking your thumbs into your perineum and, like, stretching it out.
Yeah. But as you go by, it does get easier, of course. But again, this is a preventative measure.
Yes, exactly.
So, ladies, why not? Why would you not do that?
Hit us up for more information as well. Like,
do you know what? Any questions in the DMs? Like I said, no topic will go undiscussed. I mean, this is pretty, what do we call it? Tame.
PG.
This is PG.
PG 30 plus. Have you heard of the husband stitch?
Honestly, fuck the husband. This is how much it angers me. I can't even fucking say it.
Fuck the husband stitch.
Fuck the husband stitch.
Fuck that shit. Listen, when I learned about it in school, the way I was so angry.
Sorry, you actually learned about something about women's health in school?
Yeah, crazy. No, not school. So sorry. Physiotherapy school, right? By a women's health titled physio.
No,
and it was like 2 minutes of her talking. And then I like researched a little bit more into it, and I still need to do more research because it's infuriating that this actually exists
and in our society, and actually not too recently as well.
No, like maybe like 10 years ago. Maybe it's still happening now. You never know, because it's so easy to just like slip under the radar and for something like this to happen. But for those of you who don't know what the husband stitch is, it's basically what some surgeons, not all surgeons, but some of them, they used to do this back in the day, and hopefully not anymore. When a woman would tear and they're stitching up a woman, they would just add an extra stitch, like an unnecessary extra stitch on top of the already many stitches a woman has to get.
Right.
Just to make it a little more tighter for the husband, for the guy. And to think that this actually happened is actually messed up. It's fucked up, because
that is actually really fucked up. Just for a little bit of extra pleasure.
Like, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and no consent. The woman wouldn't know. It was just something that surgeon would do. An extra stitch.
It's the no consent for me. Are you fucking serious?
It's crazy. Actually crazy. And then you wonder, like, these women we'd be wondering, like, something's not right, you know, my recovery's not right. Pain during sex is such an issue now. I thought I'm 6+ weeks postpartum, when men are like, it's time to have sex now.
Yeah.
And they're in so much pain, and it's not just the normal recovery from having birth. No, it's from the husband's stitch. Messed up.
And this is exactly where I've done the research on people who suffer with like kind of pelvic pain or anal incontinence or urinary incontinence, pain during sex, like anything postpartum is mainly due to, there's a direct correlation of like the degree of tearing that they've had and the amount of stitches and stuff that they've had to do. Now imagine that extra unnecessary stitch on top of all of that, just to give your husband a little bit extra. Like, sorry, did I not just birth this whole child for you or what?
There's no reason for that. To think that actually existed, crazy.
Absolutely insane.
So I need to do more research on this as well.
It makes me so angry. And the thing is, there's probably so many more stories out there related to topics of where doctors will do things under the carpet just to please a man, because again, we live in a man's world. Sorry guys, not anymore. Like, we're taking over this ship.
Who runs the world? Girls. No, honestly, we do. Like, nowadays we do.
Honestly. And I'm so glad that we're able to kind of discuss these topics. And like I said, this was our first episode. We went a little bit PG with it, a little bit tame.
PG, yeah.
But there is plenty more to come.
All the taboo topics, anything, no stone will be left unturned.
No way.
We will talk about everything.
And we actually want to hear from you guys. So any stories, any questions, any concerns, just drop us a DM. Email us, get in contact with us. Again, everything will stay completely confidential, but we would love to help you in any way. Even if you are kind of scared of reaching out, text us anonymously. It's fine. At least we can get your topic out there, answer any questions that you have.
Yeah.
Without feeling embarrassed. Like I said, I just told you about pissing myself on the doorstep. I don't think I can stoop any lower.
No, share all your story times. Let us know all the gritty. Oh my god, gritty.
That's that.
Nitty gritty details. Trying to get words out, but it's just not coming out. Nitty gritty details, because that's what we're here to discuss. I want to bring awareness.
Yeah.
So not just. I want to bring awareness to everybody.
Exactly.
I want to talk about everything. We're here to help.
Exactly. Even though we are aiming this at women, we still want the men to listen.
Yes. The entire world, everyone needs to be aware of everything that's going on. It's no longer a taboo topic to be talking about women's health and all the things that are associated with it. Like, everyone needs to know. Partners need to be more involved in this sort of thing.
That is it.
So
we're here to break the stigma. We're here to break the barriers. And thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you found this insightful. I hope you had a couple of laughs. And again, our DMs are always open at Primal's Women's, at Primal Women's,
yes,
on Instagram. And yeah, we'll see you on the next episode
of She Speaks by Primal Women's.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye.